Have you ever wondered what's up with billionaires and their red dress phenomena? Hey, it's Sass Green, and I want to talk to you about billionaires in New York. They're a crazy group. They demand that their women wear red dresses, and you're probably curious about the reason why. I will get to that in a moment. But today, I think it'd be a great kickoff to tell you about my book, Rich and Sexy, and read to you chapter one. So, without any further preamble, here it goes. Ooh la la, the Paris airport. It must be so super grand. Now, this is my character's friend speaking to her over the phone. Very glamorous, I whisper to my bestie. I glance at the chic Parisians waiting to board the same flight from Paris to New York. Tell me about the delicious French men around you. But first, explain why the sudden internship in Manhattan. You were so excited to spend the summer gallivanting around the south of France with your dad. That was the plan. But things have changed. Wait, changed how? Why? Janie presses. I take a deep breath. Do you remember Susie Baker? She was a few years ahead of us at Miss Porter's school. That smarmy bitch. Of course. Why? I hesitate. Then I realize Janie will hear the news from someone else's lips. Dad and I were lunching al fresco at the Paris Fashion District. Susie sauntered by. Dad asked her to join us. Champagne popped. Only a week has passed, but now she's my new stepmom. Promise you'll ask no more questions. Geez, no wonder you're escaping the Big Apple. All right, tell me more about the Frenchmen around you. I turn my attention to them, eager to change the topic. Some wear sleek suits. Others wear pressed jeans and tailored sports jackets. Every guy here is gorgeous. I've captured most of them in a sketch. Merely gorgeous? Boring! More details, please. It's not just their looks, I say, lifting my eyes from my device's electronic sketchpad. It's their. I stopped speaking when I sensed someone approaching from behind, walking with a firm, forceful step. Three elegantly dressed women sitting opposite from me watched the stranger with a hungry look in their eyes. My nose twitches. The masculine aroma of musk and spice fills my nostrils, suggesting he's taken a seat right behind me. I sense his body heat and what I imagine to be dark eyes boring into me from behind. A few moments later, he rises to chat with two pretty airline customer service agents at the desk in front of me. I can't understand French, but he speaks with boisterous charm. And from the way the two women look at me, I appear to be the topic of discussion. Emma, Janie's voice rises in my earbuds. Did you hear my question? Oh, shoot, that's my mom on the other line. Look, when you land, call me. Now, when the handsome stranger looks from the airline desk and walks towards me, I lower my eyes. I pretend to ignore him, even when he takes a seat right in front of me. Continuing my sketch, I discreetly check him out from his freshly polished Gucci shoes to his firm, muscular thighs. I saw what you did right there, he says, his voice a seductive velvet whisper. I saw what you did. The three attractive women sitting opposite me stare boldly now. Did I hear him right? Was it my imagination, or did his tone sound vaguely accusatory, as if I committed some sort of obscure Paris airport crime. Excuse me. I lift my eyes to study the dramatic depths and valleys of his striking face. The FBI could classify his scalpel-sharp jawline as a lethal weapon. His aristocratic nose is almost arrogant in its haughtiness. You heard what I said. Did what and where? I surprised myself with the confident, subtle, flirtatious tone I'm using with a man who must be around 40, slightly more than twice my age. At the ticket counter, before you sat down, you gave your premium seat to that screaming pregnant lady. That screaming pregnant lady needed a comfortable seat more than I do. I shoot the gorgeous stranger a don't mess with me look, then return to my sketching. But the heat of his stare continues. You look like someone I know, used to know, he says softly when I meet his gaze. For a fleeting moment, his jet black hair entices me. His eyes swear with tenderness. But that was a long time ago. You speak French, I say, yet I sense a subtle New York accent. Is that your hometown? Born and bred, he says. Figures. He speaks with a confident verbal swagger I associate with New York men, at least the hot, rich ones in movies. I'm not one to flirt with strange men, especially men old enough to be my dad. But since my father just married my classmate, all the rules are broken. I smile, then surprise myself with my bold, teasing tone. Friends warned me about you, New York guys. Ha! If Janie could hear me now. But before he can respond, the loudspeaker announces boarding for first-class passengers. That's me, he says, rising. Have a pleasant flight. I watch him glide toward the aircraft, smiling and joking with the gate crew as he passes. He sure has charisma. When it's my turn to board the aircraft, I scan my ticket, but the machine beeps and its red lights flash. I switch tickets with a pregnant woman, I explain to the woman who takes the ticket from my hands. The exchange must have confused the system. Your coach seat is no longer valid, the woman says. A gentleman bought a first-class ticket for you. He'd like you to be his guest on the flight. I smile, surprised. But from what transpired in the waiting area, not so completely surprised. First class. This could be the most interesting flight of my life. I follow this svelte, perfectly groomed flight attendant down the gleaming cold steel of the jet bridge. Like virtually all the French women I've seen during my abbreviated time in Paris, the woman personifies elegance, with her blonde hair done up in a French twist. The engine roars as I step onto the aircraft. Golden sunlight pours the round windows, flooding the space with a heavenly glow. The first-class cabin exudes space and luxury. Shiny oak panels overlay the walls and floors. I hear the joyful sound of champagne popping in the kitchen galley. I remind myself to play it cool. When I locate my seat, which no doubt will be next to the handsome gentleman, I owe him nothing. At least that's what I tell myself. Even though he said his motive for grading me was to reward a kind deed, I sense there's more to it. But could this be his driving reason? I guess I'll just have to find out. Well, that was chapter 1. All the chapters are short and punchy and to the point. I'm Sass Green. The book is rich and sexy. You could find it free on Amazon if you have Kindle Unlimited. Again, rich and sexy, and I'll see you next week.